When we first started this book, we felt like it was about Christ's ability to help women overcome the emotional burdens and the things that hold us back from our life missions and from our ability to help each other. So it's about the gifts that Christ gives us where we can tap into His atonement and learn to see our world in a different perspective.
The research areas that really affected me is when we were writing on the chapter on the gift of seeing. And kind of the premise of that chapter is when Mary Magdalena goes to Christ's tomb and she sees it's empty. And He actually appears before her, but she doesn't recognize Him as a Savior. And the main point of that chapter is sometimes there are things right in front of us that we don't recognize until we prepare ourselves or we're ready to humble ourselves and see what is really before us. And as a modern day woman, the Savior also is standing right there. We're not at His tomb, but He is right there in front of us. And so it's up to us to really see Him and to accept Him for who He is.
I think a lot of women are struggling these days with depression and feeling overwhelmed, and I think that it's such a loud, busy, chaotic world that it's really difficult these days to find those quiet moments and to get in tune with the Spirit and to listen to what you should be doing, not your to-do list.
We sometimes feel like we're not worthy of some of the gifts we've been given, or we don't deserve a gift, or we look at another woman and we think, oh, she has so much more than I do. How come I have to live in this house? Or how come I have to drive this kind of car? Or how come my kids are going through all these trials and her kids have scholarships everywhere? And I think what this book will help women understand is how valuable we are in the Savior's eyes.
I wanted to write the book because I wanted to help other women with the things that I've been struggling with myself the last few years. Just trying to overcome discouragement when things don't go well or when trials last for a really long time. And I thought, if I study this topic, then it will help me, and then I can share what I've learned with other people.
We all will have different trials, and sometimes the Sunday school or the church persona that we see in different women, that's not what their real lives are like. They're coming to learn and to feed on Christ's gifts, and we're doing the same thing. And I think one of the important things in the book that we'll learn is that the Savior is there for all of us, and that our trials may not just go away after prayer and fasting, but we may have a trial our entire lives. But our burden can definitely be shared by the Savior.
I think the topic of what Christ's gifts to us are is important because without knowing your relationship to Christ, it's kind of hard to find your bearings in life and to focus on those things that will be the most long-lasting and joyful in your life.